There is no denying that strategy is an important aspect of Honkai Star Rail, but without proper knowledge, we can only expect to fail multiple times. Worry not, because I am here to fix that. Hello everyone, my name is Ray, and in this video, we're gonna be talking about some of the misunderstood and overlooked stats in Honkai Star Rail that are actually very essential for fighting strategy. So, let's get into it. One quick note before we start the video, I'm only going to be explaining these stats in the most simplest way possible. So if you'd like to know more about these stats, I've cited all the sources that I got my information from in the description below. Feel free to check them out. Break effect increases the damage of weakness break when performed, and in order to perform weakness break, you have to deplete the toughness meter shown above the enemy's HP bar. You can deplete this meter by attacking with an element that the enemy is weak to, which is shown at the top of the meter, and also shown before you engage in battle. Let's take Hook as an example. A normal weakness break deals 224 damage, but with break effect, this damage further increases. Now, depending on the element that fully depletes the toughness meter and initiates the weakness break, break effect will also increase the damage dealt by the additional effects after the weakness break. This includes the DOT values from burn, shock, bleed, or the amount of action delay from imprisonment effect. However, it is important to note that the break effect has no effect on how quickly a character wears down the enemy's toughness meter. Even if you have a lot of break effect on your character, the amount of depletion for the toughness meter stays the same. The speed value is a key factor in determining the action value during the turn cycle. The character's base speed, speed percentage from buffs, and additional flat speed benefits from relics are all taken into account while determining the action value. These elements work together to define the character's real speed, which affects the sequence in which your team and the enemies act. The action value determines when does a character act. There is a complicated calculation into it, but all you have to remember is that the higher the speed, the lower the action value will be, and characters with a lower action value will be able to act before others. Let's take this clip as an example. Asta is known for increasing the team's speed value. You will see here that after I used Asta's ultimate, all my characters' action value decreased. That is because their speed value was increased. You will also notice that Asta advanced forward, overtaking Svarog. This is because after the ult, Asta's action value became lower than Svarog. Additionally, if the action value is low enough, the same character can act again before the cycle ends. If you want to see the action value of your characters during a battle, you can enable this option here in the settings. Although speed might sound beneficial for many characters, it is not recommended to focus on this stat alone, as there are many characters that has access to skills, passives, eidolons, or other abilities that can affect your team members and enemies' speed, such as Asta, Bronya, Danheng, Welt, Sushang, Tingyun, and more. Whether an attack has a debuff or not depends on the effect hit rate. Freeze, shock, entanglement, imprisonment, and other such effects are among them, depending on the character's elemental affinity. Targets have greater risk of being debuffed when an effect hit rate stat is higher. Let's take Serval's skill as an example. Her skill deals AoE lightning damage with an 80% base chance to cause shock on the enemies. Effect hit rate increases this base chance, making the ability more reliable, although this can be countered if enemies have effect res. Effect res, on the other hand, reduces the risk of being inflicted with a debuff. This can be applied on both enemies and your team. Team members can enhance their effect res through relics, light cones, or eidolons. Effect hit rate and effect res are interconnected, so you can either increase both these stats or just increase one of them depending on your strategy. That is all for this video. I hope this helps you understand some of these stats. If not, then feel free to ask me anything in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer it for you. That's all for today. Stay cool everyone, and goodbye.